Okay, so this is becoming my do a video in the middle of the night clothing because it's a big, huge sweater. I know it makes me look extra heavy, but it's a big, huge sweater and it goes over my pajamas. So I can do a video in the middle of the night and look just fine. My husband's like, where you going? It's like, I just finished the book. I'm going to go do a video. He goes like, now? It's in the middle of the night. I said, yeah, but that way I don't have to worry about remembering all the stuff for the morning. I can just spew it right now. Well, I've got the details fresh in my head. So, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. And apparently nobody's watching either. My thumbnails are inadequate. I'm not creative enough. I don't do false titles. We are talking about book 12. I really should take that sticker off. Of the Sherlock and Savick FBI series by Catherine Coulter. And like I said, I just finished it. And so I wanted to just give you a shout out now while it's fresh in my mind. So this is book 13. And I think it's the final one. I don't think there's another one. There may be one more, but I don't think so. I think this is the end of the extra little psychic ability from Savick, a little paranormalness going on here, but I think this is the last one. I don't think we see it again. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one. So we have two major plot lines going on here. So you go to your bank, and this has probably happened to a very few select people, but I'm pretty sure there are quite a few people out there, probably maybe 1,000 to 5,000 people this has happened to over a very long period of time. It was probably one of the worst experiences, most traumatic experiences of their lives. I don't wish this on anybody, but Savick goes to the bank. I think he's making a payment on Sean's college fund for the future. Sean is still very little. I don't think he's 5 yet. He might be 5. I'm not sure. So while he's in the bank gets robbed. And these robbers are a group of robbers that have done serial bank robbers. It's revealed later that they've been going all over the place. A gang of 4, and technically it's 5 because they later discover there was a driver. So 4 people go into the bank. 2 women, 2 men, and they rob the place. But this goes bad 6 ways to Sunday, and quite a few people get killed. And one of the bank robbers is, believe it or not, a young girl. And she's very, very, very vicious. And they escape. Well, she ends up in the hospital, and she ends up escaping. And she is out on vengeance. She wants to kill Savick, and she wants to kill the security guard Buzz. And her cousin, one of the other people involved in the robbery, they go on this splurge. They want to go a couple of different places. They have a couple of different objectives to cover. And while they're covering these other objectives, they want to kill Buzz and Savick. And quite a few other people get killed in the process, too. And she's always going off. So, the security guard has a couple of close calls. By the way, I don't spoil the ending, but I do spoil most of the book, tell you what happens to some of the characters. Because I like to talk about the book. And I was saying before that, my thumbnails are inadequate. But I'm talking about Knockout, So my title is going to be talking about knockout or thereabouts. Maybe I'll change a few words, but the Knockout by Catherine Coulter, book 13 will be in the title. I can't make up fancy titles like everybody else. I can't make up misleading titles like everybody else. I'm talking about a book. So we have the plot with the bank robbers and the bank robbers, the two that get away, and they go. The one girl, she's killing everybody. She just loves killing and people putting a notch on her belt, and she's a real Looney Tune. And her cousin helps her in every way he can. He's not into killing as much as she is, but he helps her along the way, and it's a whole mess of killings and adventure with them. So Sherlock and Savick are busy with that, and this is two completely different separate cases. There have been books where the two cases merge or the three cases merge at the end and they tie in and they bond, but this is two completely separate cases. So they've got Sherlock and Savick are busy with the crazy bank robbers. Then there is a second case. There is this woman, Joanna, and her and her daughter took her husband's remains back to his parents' place. She didn't know about them until after her husband was deceased. So she took his remains back to them. They have a little family cemetery, and the family wanted him buried there, and she went to honor their wishes. And she discovered a very, very messed up family. Very, very cultish family. Very, very you do as I say family. And a couple of the members of the family had a hypnotic, they were able to put people into trances and have people do what they want against their will. They would be able to take over people's brains and have them do stuff. So Joanna and Autumn escape from that evil house, and they go to Titusville, where they were supposed to meet their Uncle Tolly. But their Uncle Tolly did not know they were coming, and he goes on a retreat this time of year and is not home and is not in cell phone range. And he's a little on the elderly side, too. So when they get to Titusville, they meet Ethan Merriweather, sheriff, and his associates. And after some bargaining and discussions and all this other kind of stuff goes on, and after one of the blessed Backman comes and they call it stymied or hypnotizes a couple of the deputies and makes them do stuff against their will, Ethan just starts to believe the crazy story that Joanna and Autumn are telling him. He's seen it right in front of his eyes, so he has to know it is true. And he and Joanna start to fall in love a little bit. It's mostly PG, probably, because it's not front and center. The romance is not front and center. It's touched on here and there, but it's not in your face type situation. It's a little separate situation. So they get their little romance going, but very, 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 very brief, like early stages of it. In the meantime, they're on the run. They catch one of the bad guys. The bad guy gets away. There's a lot of stuff going on. The bad guy's able to hypnotize people. People like, no, I don't believe you. You're wrong. This isn't possible. And then it happens in front of their faces and they're like, oh, or it happens to them and they're like, oh my God, this is real. This is happening. And so we have, that's our biggest second story, is the story of Autumn and her mother Joanna trying to escape because the Bachmans want Autumn, she has special powers. And they want her to join their family thing. They don't care about her mother. Her mother can be eliminated, but they want the kid desperately. And Sherlock and Savick do take time away from their robbery thing to help Ethan and Joanna out and do some investigating on their own. And they run into a little issues. They go to Bricker's Bowl, and the sheriff there does what he wants to anybody. He beats people up, he kills people, he does whatever he wants. It's his town, he rules, he's law. And if anything goes across that, then the Backmans will back him up and wave their crazy powers on everybody. It's like a Peyton Place type situation. It's a really scary, creepy town, I'll tell you that much. And Sherlock and Savick are very brave to go there and stand their ground and go, look, you can't make an FBI agent disappear, especially one of Savick's caliber, who's way, way up on the stream, you know. And so it's just a very interesting, multi-layered plot. There's some sub-layers under this, Autumn and Joanna and the Blesseds, and there's a couple of surprises that get thrown at the end. But those are your two main plots. The bank robbery crew, Lissy and Victor, who are destroying and killing people like crazy. And then Joanna and Autumn and Ethan trying to get away. Ethan tries to do this one thing and it goes bad and he ends up in serious trouble. And Savick, unlike previous books, Savick and Sherlock are tied up with the bank robbery thing and are not in Brigger's, or actually it's a different location and I won't reveal it, are not there to help out Ethan at the last minute. They're not the heroes. Usually, Sherlock and Savick come running in at the last minute and save the world. But they don't do that in this book. I was really, really surprised that Ethan and gang were left to their own resources to end it. Eventually, Sherlock and Savick do come into it at the end, but the stuff has already been taken care of because they were busy dealing with the Lizzie Victor situation. So that's a little different. That Sherlock and Savick usually tie up the one case and then go and tie up the second one. And this is one time where they're not there at the end to save everybody. So that was a little different than previous books. So I hope that you will tune out to I didn't leave any copies over here. Tune into Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Fridays, and If Then Fridays afternoon. I did a new releases for January the other day, and no one watched. Everybody else on the internet was doing new releases and got hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of views. At last notice, I got 10. Could you please go watch that, please? Please let people know I exist. I just want people to know I exist. I'm not even here for the monetization type situation. I just want people to share my enjoyment of books. I would just want people to watch my videos. So, now that we have finished book, what was it now? What did I say? 13? Get ready for 14. I really gotta take these stickers off. I really should take these stickers off. Ah! It skipped the book. I'm gonna leave it on. It actually ruined my book. So I'm gonna leave it on. It got a little rippy under there. Now I'm upset that I took it off and it got a little ripped. That's sad. I've had this book forever. So I guess you're just gonna stay on there. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy now. That's gonna bug me for hours. The whole time I'm reading this book, it's gonna bug me that I tried to take that off and it ripped. So, book 12. Check it out. And don't forget Flashback Mondays. I work really hard on those too. We talk about contemporary romance, inspirationals, Regencies, mysteries, suspense, harlequins, paranormals, and occasionally the erotica. So please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know. I did a good job. Thank you so much. Have a good one.